Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
This episode of TMOS is brought to you by Prosper. Prosper is a peer-to-peer lending marketplace which connects people who are looking to borrow money with those who have money to lend. Visit prosper.com/TMOS and receive a $50 Visa prepaid card when you get a loan. That's prosper.com/TMOS.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar, I'm powerful excited.
Oh, yeah.
It's another one of our two-cornered broadcasts as we focus on Washington, D.C., and also some sort of a hospital for people that can't pay their bills down in Florida. It's the free walk-in clinic, and we have Mike O'Mara. Hello, Mike. Are you there?
Thank you very much, Rob. Yes, I am broadcasting to you live currently from the Punta Gorda Home for Wayward Mothers, and I'm truly, truly blessed to be down here. No, the fact is that everybody knows you guys, I think, have been pretty open about what's been going on when I haven't been there a couple of days this week, and then I came back yesterday, told you guys that I was going to go in for another test, that I don't want to alarm anyone, but this diverticulitis situation, they are treating me with IV antibiotics, so I am in a hospital, and it is not the... It is not the Home for Wayward Mothers. It is the Motion Picture Country Home and Hospital, and nice. I'm in the Curly Howard wing, and I'm doing very, very well.
Oh, I think, Mike, I think you have a room near Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, I am next to Kirk Douglas, and Ann Miller is 2 doors down over here as well. And as a matter of fact, Wilfred Brimley is, I think, 4 doors down. So it's it's great to see all these incredible celebrities. It really is.
Talent.
Mike, we left you yesterday. You were on the program. You did the show from your Florida studio in your home. And you said you were going to go get a CAT scan. What happened after the CAT scan that you were admitted into the hospital? Thank you, Rob.
Not at all.
The CAT 2014 scan that I got yesterday, which included drinking barium to get the image of my intestines, and then I was informed that one other part of the test would be there's only one way to tell you, rectal imaging as well.
Yeah, do you remember the song Raspberry Beret, where they say, she came in through the outdoor?
Yeah.
It's a GoPro.
Let me just say, that was the last part, and that's the part that you at 12:30, I drank a big jar of banana-flavored garbage that is illuminated in a scan, and then I had to do it again at 2 o'clock.
When you drink the banana-flavored garbage, how about the 2 doses, how many ounces each?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Why
and
does
it's
he always
not
do
relevant.
that to you?
It's not relevant
Why do you always
to the
ask
story.
me questions that make no sense?
When you're talking about drinking, the quantitative amount is probably the most pertinent question.
Why is that?
Because
Okay,
you want
I'm
to
going
be
to
able to
say,
describe how much he had to have.
Let me guess, ass. It was probably 12 to 16 ounces.
Jesus,
okay?
now you see, that's huge, and you had to do that twice. What was its
did
texture?
it twice.
What was its
I did it.
texture?
Now, boys, there are other patients in this hospital, and if you're going to be screaming, I need to speak over you, and I'm going to start yelling,
Mike.
and I will be disturbing the other patients.
Let me clarify. How many milliliters of liquid did you have to take in?
Well, it is the consistency of really house paint. That's really what I would equate it to.
God, yuck. Nasty.
And 2 o'clock, I have to drink the other one, and then I got to blast over to the little radiology center at 2:15, and you are not allowed to eat or drink anything after 10 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't have anything to eat or drink, and I also thought that when you're drinking this stuff, you've got to kind of hold everything in, which I did. And because my innards are in an uproar anyway, that was beginning, and I would say 2:15 to be a bit of a problem situation. So when I was called back for the test at 2:45, a half hour later, I was probably, a little concerned that when the last piece of the puzzle were to take place, that I might have an issue. Now, I didn't Thank God I didn't. I will not tell you that anything happened. There was no emergency there. But I'm going to tell you, I felt like I was going to lose control at any minute, and that is before the lady came in and said, okay, now we have to insert something.
Oh.
And what they
I hate when the lady
do
says that.
Actually,
is
that's my pickup line for most women.
I'm
50
trying to
Shades of
describe
Rob.
this properly. They take what is effectively, I think this is like a little fire hose, a tiny little mini fire hose that has a condom on it.
Of course. Well, you want to be safe.
And she informs me that they're going to put it there. You know where I'm talking about.
I think I do.
And then they are going to inflate the balloon so as to make sure everything stays where it needs to be.
It's like you're describing the plot line of Interstellar.
Yeah. Inner space.
It was. I look. You could cut me open, and I would have less anxiety about going through this.
So at
It's
any time
me-
during this procedure, Mike, did your balloon inflate?
You know what? My balloon never inflated.
Good.
I was in full sphincter mode the entire time, and I think the lady's name might have been, I don't know, Cheryl or something like that. I'm not sure. She was very competent and she was very clinical, which I desperately needed.
Good.
But when the moment of truth came, she said, "All right, you're going to feel some discomfort."
Oh.
And this is the source of where my pain is. And they inflated the balloon, and I could have been my 15-month-old son.
Yeah.
I wanted to scream in agony, and at this point, I am really feeling like down there, there's going to be a severe explosion.
Yeah,
That's exactly how I felt.
They have
And that's
presented
when
you,
she
Mike,
said-
with the anal Hindenburg. And what happens is they've taken you to the next level, because I've dealt with ass doctors enough that their go-to word when they're going to hurt you is you're going to feel some pressure.
Oh, my God.
But if they skip pressure and go to discomfort, you might as well start filling out paperwork, because there's a good chance you're going to die.
It was, the worst. The worst, I was telling one of the nurses here last night, probably the worst pain, because a different kind of pain. I've never felt anything like that. And I would just like to say to all the men that have gone to prison throughout the years in America and all around the world, my sincere sympathies.
Yeah.
Because that, I watched the Shawshank Redemption. I know what Andy Dufresne went through.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine how tough that was for him. It was so intense. And at that moment, she said, "Okay, now we're going to put the imaging solution in there," and it only got worse, and the pressure only got worse. And when I said, "Are we done? Are we done?" And she said, "Yeah. You want me to move your pillow under your knees to make you more?" I said, "No, Cheryl. I'd really like you to start the test now, please. Thank you."
Now, question,
And,
a question, Mike. A lot of times, this mostly for our gentlemen listeners, if you get snagged in the nads, say you're playing a sport or something, the pain is not instant. It tends to build, but also the pain isn't there. The pain is sort of in your stomach.
Yes.
Yes.
When you felt this discomfort, because they were dealing with all the jewels down there, did the pain manifest itself in other parts of your body?
Tip of my toes to the top of my head. To be
The
honest
whole
with
thing,
you.
with all
It
the
was-
nerve endings. Yeah, makes
Did the
sense.
blindfold help?
And the cigarette, the ball gag.
The ball gag that I had yesterday. The leopard skin tights were really helpful for me as well, with a little hole cut out. At this point, she said, "We're all done," and I just wanted her to get it done. But miraculously, and maybe this is why people do things that they do. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
I'm still a little.
Well, then.
I got a few drugs in me, so
Yeah.
bear
What
with me.
kind of people?
No, I'm saying that what happened was
Tell us.
that pain that I initially felt,
Yes.
my body, I guess, relaxed a little bit and accepted the violation, and suddenly the pain was no more, and I was able to get through the test. But as soon as the test was over, they have to remove what they have in there.
Right.
And that is when I did the dead sprint. So that is the long description of what I went through yesterday. Within 45 minutes, there came a call from my doctor who said, "We're sending you down to the hospital. You are rampant with diverticulitis." So nothing that they had given me medically had done the trick, and they wanted to put a needle in my arm and put some IV antibiotics in. So that's where I am right now, and rest assured, Renoites. I've told them that I need to be on that plane and get out to Reno. So that's what we're shooting to get this thing intensely taken care of, so that I can go and get on stage and have a great time out in Reno. And I have no doubt that they're going to be very successful in that, and that's why we're kind of taking the aggressive steps we are right now. And it's a tough thing. He said there were 2 guys that were admitted yesterday with the same kind of thing, where the antibiotics that you normally take, you've heard about this before. This is kind of common knowledge if you watch any of the coverage of medical issues. This is resistance to antibiotics.
Sure.
And sometimes that happens, and they have to figure out the right type of medications to get you back on track. So that's it. That's where I stand right now. And other than that, I'm planning on a few little procedures while I'm in here. I've always wanted to have real female breasts.
Good.
And
3 of them.
yeah, 3. Just like is it who is it? Vivica Fox? Is that the one that's on American Horror Story? I want to have the 3 boobs. I really do.
Well,
but
that
no,
will sell tickets. 1-800-648-5010.
Mike,
Yes.
you should know that my mom, I spoke to her briefly yesterday, and she likes to call me once in a while and guilt me into doing things for her, but also remind me that she lights candles, really religious candles, with either the Virgen de Guadalupe or some sort of other patron
The Virgin
saint.
of Guadalupe?
Yes.
Or Jesus.
Or Jesus himself.
If you're ever at
That's
my...
usually the taller candle.
Mike, if you're ever at my Mexican Shoppers Food Warehouse, all you have to do is go in, bear to the right, take a left at the Inca Cola, and on that
Yes.
aisle, that's where all the religious candles are.
She lit a
Now
candle.
maybe it's the Irish Catholics, Oscar, but I always thought that the only time you light candles is for the dead.
No, you light
That's
candles
the
all the
way I-
time, at least in my home.
Oh.
And
Do you have electricity?
No, we do. So she lit one. She said she lit one for my sister, my brother, and me. And then I said, look, if you're there, if you got an extra one, I know you got 20 of them in the pantry. Why don't you light one for Mr. El Señor Mike, as she would say. And so she goes, and I told her what was going on. She goes, okay. And then she called me back. She says, I've got his candle lit. I'll be praying for him as well. So everybody's, they're pulling for you.
Hey, do you know what would be
Well,
great?
I appreciate that, Oscar, because I didn't hear from you yesterday, and I pretty much have been dealing with the kind-hearted partner during all of this, because I'm always afraid to call Oscar when I have these medical issues, because I think Oscar gives off a vibe sometimes that is business.
Well, I come from a
I
medical
appreciate you.
family.
I appreciate you before the show quoting Tony Romo, starting for the Cowboys tonight, and or whatever he does this weekend. And so I call Rob because Rob is very sympathetic and he's very easy to deal with during these situations. And then I guess Rob calls you and gives you the update, and then we move on from there. But I'm glad that your mother did light a candle for me, and as I said, I would really love to be in the studio. My God, it's just steps from my own bedroom, so I didn't expect to be here. I was actually surprised when I got the news that I was going to come in here and have to deal with this. But the show must go on, and as I said, I'm not in any kind of agony right now. I'm just trying to knock this thing out, and it's been a real grind since August, dealing with this, and other people have these issues as well. So hopefully, I'm getting very good medical care, and I'm going to get it taken care of. And then when I get out to Reno, I just want all of you to know, when we go out to dinner together, for me, it's going to be a strict diet of granola, broccoli, and peanuts for me the entire time that I'm there.
Now, you know what was good is I actually called Oscar's mother, and your candle, Mike, is St. Patrick. So it's going to be. It's and you talk about when we talk. It's a green candle. When we talk, and you get the sympathy from me, and I call Oscar, and here's what Oscar said. Oscar actually had sympathy for you, but he said he doesn't understand why your colon can't scan act more like a partner.
He did. I'm surprised he didn't say that he wanted to call Mike Colin and give it a pep talk.
I feel bad because when I found out that you were ill, I sent you a bouquet of balloons to the hospital, and now I'm afraid they're going to shove them all up your ass.
Hey, let me tell you one funny story. Last night, really two terrific caregivers, and I'm going to take this opportunity to say, I was sitting like that guy, down in Texas out in the hallway. They do it now. I mean, medical services are strained all over the world. And so, you're out in the hallway, and they actually have a little sign, and that's one of the areas where they triage you.
DJ.
They sit you out there. And my feeling yesterday was take care of the sick people. I'm in here just to get antibiotics, but it was the only way I was going to be admitted and get a bed was to come in that way, and that's kind of the way they did it. Don't ask me the system. I don't know why, but that's the way they do it.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something, and this goes out to everybody in our listening audience that does this for a living. To say that these individuals, these caregivers, these doctors, nurses, orderlies, EMTs, EMS professionals that come in, I watched them for 3.5 hours sitting there. I had no other show. There's no TV. All I could do was watch this. To say that this is a special breed of human beings, you saw a little taste of it when you talk about those nurses that go in and treat the person who's got Ebola, and they say, well, we do it because that's our job. Let me tell you something. They're special people, and and you got a real sense of that sitting from my vantage point last night. And I'm just really, really impressed with the attitude. And I've been, when I look back on, when my father was sick and seeing relatives in the hospital and visiting, coworkers and my own experiences here, I look back on the entirety of the experience. And you know what? More often than not, a lot more often than not, these people are really good instead of really bad. And I think it needs to be mentioned because they do such an amazing job. And I decided that I was so giddy that I got my private room last night. And incidentally, I think most of them are private rooms here, which is fantastic. I thought I'd be really, sitting there with Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, and Vic Tayback in a multiple room.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I decided that I would just be yap manically with one of the nurses. And we got to talking about comedians, and she was talking about Louis C.K., and I was talking about George Carlin and the name bit that he does about Todd and Tyler and Tucker. Well, beware when you want to share your comedy, because I have my laptop with me, and I played the George Carlin bit, and she kind of shakes her head. And I said, what? She said, my son is named Tyler.
Oh, no. Part of the problem.
At that point, I felt myself losing consciousness from something in my IV.
You said, oh, my goodness, I thought it must have been the Percocet got to go by.
Ciao, ciao.
Is there a button to make the nurse go away or just make the nurse come?
Would you like to know the narcotic that I had last night? I haven't had any today.
Yeah.
I can't lie 2 nights in a row because the pain is not worthy of a narcotic, but I had Dilaudid.
And anyone in the room, anyone know what
Top
Dilaudid
shelf.
is?
Yes.
It is, anybody? Synthetic heroin.
Yeah.
Elvis's
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
Can I be honest with you, Rob?
Yeah.
I remember those days back when I first had this condition where they gave me, I think it was called liquid Demerol.
Yes.
And the Dilaudid, I'm sorry, not that big a deal.
Well,
maybe my body is just becoming totally resistant to all medicine.
What you
I
need
have
to
no
do,
idea.
Mike, is remember how I taught you to jerry-rig the button so you can get a double dose? Then you'll like the Dilaudid.
Well, unfortunately, you can't get the self-administered crap here.
Really?
They got to come in and they got to shoot it into your line. That's the way they do it.
Shoot it
you
into
know?
my line.
And Lord knows after yesterday, I've had enough shot into my line for a lifetime. That's for sure.
Are you
It's
scheduled?
crazy.
Are you scheduled to leave today or tomorrow?
They don't know yet. They have to wait and see what's happening. But we're guessing Sunday evening. Actually, is when it's.
Are
gonna
you
happen.
scheduled to leave in a wheelchair or in a box?
I'm actually going to be. What's really cool about this place? Not a box, not a coffin, Rob. But I'm going to be leaving in a soapbox racing car, which is going to be. Now they put a mattress on it, like a small mattress, and then all the floors here are angled at about a 3-degree angle, so that once they just let you go at your hospital, your hospital room doorway, you slowly descend to the main lobby.
Oh, that's excellent. I sure hope you
Where
win
you
that
are-
transistor radio.
Yeah, no, they don't give you transistor radios. They actually hand you a cookie by a candy striper, and then your soapbox rolls out into the turnaround where your wife and child are waiting to pick you up.
Fantastic. I'm glad they're putting the fun back in medicine.
Well, they are, and I want to thank you guys for holding down the fort. I know it hasn't been easy. It's never easy when any of us are out. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's actually, Oscar, it has been pretty easy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been easy.
Yeah,
actually, I was like, wow. I was like, we can actually do this without him.
That's right. Plan B.
Oh, I didn't. Well, you know what? Screw you.
Bless your heart, Mike. Bless your heart.
We miss you.
Oh, bless your dear heart, Robin. It's been. Let me just say, who's in the room today? We have Rofo and Pony and Rob and Oscar. Is that who we got?
Yep.
All right, Rofo. Really, it would help my recovery enormously if you pulled a really, really big cash win for FanDuel this weekend. You know that?
Yeah.
You got it, Mike, just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I like the sincerity in that, you big bowl of crap. Anyway,
this is like the worst version of the Babe Ruth story ever, where
Tony?
you're the little sick kid asking the Babe to hit a home run for you.
Yes, Win me a lot of money, kid.
Pony, I want to tell you this, Pony. You're looking at your future if you don't get some of those health things together, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I hear you.
I mean, I've quit everything that's bad for me, but these are all residual effects in my mind. And you don't have the obesity. You don't have the obesity that I'm dealing with here. But I will tell you, my friend, that I want to see everybody stay healthy. This is not a fun place to be,
right?
Even though they have nice nurses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Life on the road, man. Life on the road.
Rob,
Mike.
I want to thank you for being a very sympathetic ear. And helping me struggle through this, I really it means a great deal to me.
Well,
okay?
Mike, you are quite welcome, and no matter how this comes out, it's been a good run.
Thank you, Rob. I really do appreciate it. Okay.
Okay.
I really do. Oscar.
Hello. Yes.
I don't know what I have to say to you. I'll talk to you boys later. Goodbye.
Feel better, Mike. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Hey, you know what's amazing about that?
What?
Apparently, people can get private rooms in Florida.
Is it because people die so quickly?
Well, I'm just saying, we had to share a room, and we were just in a hotel. But anyway, it works out. It does
they
work
can get
out.
private rooms if they're celebrities.
That's right. Private room and internet, he may never leave.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
Help you, boys?
You got any white bread?
Yes.
I'll have some toasted white bread, please.
You want butter or jam on that toast, honey?
No, ma'am. Dry. Got any fried chicken?
Best damn chicken in the state.
Bring me 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
You want chicken wings or chicken legs?
4 fried chickens and a Coke.
And some dry white toast, please.
You all want anything to drink with that?
No, ma'am.
A Coke.
Be up in a minute. We got 2 hunkies out there dressed like Hasidic diamond merchants.
Say what?
They look like they're from the CIA or something.
What they want to eat?
The tall one wants white bread, toast, dry, with nothing on it.
Elwood.
And the other one wants 4 whole fried chickens and a Coke.
And Jake, the Blues Brother.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's
Rob. Sometimes you just don't know. Live from the Pfeifferplex Studios, this is the Mike O'Mara Show, broadcasting all over the planet. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 26 million downloads. That's 26,000,000. That's a lot. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com and heard over the air on the mighty 1630, KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks. Oh, got to say hi to number 17, wide receiver Jacob Hilliard.
Another wide receiver, Jacob Hilliard. What is it, Jacob Hilliard?
Jacob Hilliard.
Gets laid all the time.
All the time. And we'll leave it
Allegedly.
there. He's a junior from Somerset, Texas. You say that every day, aren't you?
Well, for wide receivers.
Sure.
Everybody knows they get laid
Haven't
all
you
the
had that
time.
name before?
What's that?
No, he had
Hilliard?
another wide receiver.
Another Hilliard?
Yeah.
Wait, did he?
Because Mike's commented on there was a Hilliard before.
Oh my God, you're recycling players?
No, I think there was
always so many.
I think there's a Hilliard.
Which one's this guy?
This is Hilliard.
Oh.
I crossed
okay.
them out
Double
as
check.
I go.
All right,
Check out the roster,
Dude,
please.
see if you can assign a lot of effort to making me look like a jackass. First time he's woken up today. The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners in the world. Why? Because they get it. Today is Friday, November 7th, 2014, and look who's still on the phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that when I'm not in my home and I don't have my Harrys, I am very frustrated. Movember is here. You know that. It's time to grow a mustache this month to show support for men's health issues. But even if you grow a mustache, you still have to shave your face. That's why you need Harry's, the official razor partner for the Movember Foundation. Harry's was started to create a better shaving experience for all men. Harry's ships directly to your door from their factory in Germany. Nearly a century of shaving experience goes into every blade, and that means a superior shave every time. By cutting out the middleman, they can offer amazing shaves at a fraction of the price of drugstore brands. You'll love the starter set, $15. We've talked about it a lot. Our listeners love it. You get the razor, 3 blades, your choice of Harry's shave cream, or the new foaming shave gel. And as always, free shipping, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. Go to harrys.com now, and Harry's will give you $5 off your first order. Just type in our code, TMOS. That's HARRYS.com, and enter coupon code TMOS at checkout for this limited time offer, and change the way you shave forever.
He timed it to the end of the
He
record.
did.
He
The
is
man's
such
in a
a pro.
hospital bed.
He's such
and
a pro.
He's still working hard.
He sounds pretty good down there.
I think in light of him being in the hospital, every time you hear him do a read from his hospital bed,
Right.
think about that advertiser and patronize them.
Yes, exactly. You give it the added value.
Just a thought. So much going on in the world, but I definitely want to touch on this, Rob, if you
Sure.
don't mind.
Take the lead.
Just had Mike on the phone in Florida, and usually when stories come out that are just like so strange, and I remember that Dr. Drew and Adam Kroll used to do this all the time, Germany or Florida, you hear these types of stories. This one comes out of Philly, where 3 days ago...
When you say Germany or Florida, do they automatically assign weird stories to those geographic regions?
Well, they would give a weird story. You had to choose. I remember as a young broadcaster, you listen to Loveland when it was Adam and Dr. Drew.
Sure.
And they would give a story, or listeners would call in with a story, and they had to guess whether it was Germany or Florida.
Great game.
Yeah, because the stories, I mean, the wildest stories would come of either from Florida or Germany, which was pretty wild.
I'm loving that game.
This one's out of Philadelphia, and I saw this on the news 3 days ago. I said, well, this is strange. And there's a couple layers to the story. One is a woman was abducted. She was caught on camera, her and her abductor, being forced into a vehicle.
Right.
And it was one of those street cams that everybody goes crazy about, big government and how, they don't want these cameras around
Right.
with the rights of privacy. But more importantly, as far as her abduction goes, she didn't know the man. This is just like a serial random scum of the earth type of guy. He just a few months ago was accused of trying to abduct and rape a 16-year-old. So this guy is just this scum of the earth type of guy, right?
Yeah.
So she's found in Maryland, of all places.
Was it Elkridge?
Yes.
Was that right? Yeah.
And you know how they found her? It's because this guy had bad credit.
Yeah.
And because he had bad credit, he ended up going to a dealership and buying a car. And because he had bad credit, they put a little GPS tracking device on his car.
Yeah.
And that's how they found him.
It was like LoJack for people that aren't going to pay their bills.
Yes, so they can come repo the car once, because the odds of, most people with bad credit, because you have that track record of not paying your bill, are higher than other people.
I think this will actually go,
credit.
there's a couple, cases that people, there's crime that goes on all the time. But then there are cases that people will always go back to. I always think back to the DC sniper.
Yes.
That was a huge one because everyone seems so they were baffled by it for so long. This one is going to go down in history as the world's first high-tech capture of a kidnapper, because the two things at play were the fact that the kidnapping itself was captured on videotape.
On camera.
And when you've got the chief of police in, I believe, Philadelphia,
yes,
that's a big city, folks. And, they see a lot of stuff going down in Philly. When the guy says, Well, we've had a lot of kidnappings, but I've never seen one captured on television before. It's horrifying to look at.
If you have a daughter, terrifying. If you have a sister, terrifying. A mother, anybody. But this woman was 22 years old, minding her business. This guy completely
total random bad luck.
He just grabs her and takes her. And by it's like taken, right?
Right.
You just take it. And outside, yes, there's an ATM transaction where they caught him buying a bag of chips. Why would he buy a bag of chips with her ATM card?
And the weird thing is the brand of chips they mentioned, I think it's hers, which is a Philadelphia brand of chip, and the wrapper would come into play later on when they got the acquisition of
a
him.
Grocery store receipt.
Yes.
The GPS planted. Also, what does this have to say about? Because this is a 37-year-old man and a 22-year-old woman, right? What does this have to say about the technology within all these vehicles? That maybe not just people with bad credit should have GPS installed into their cars. I think most people should.
Well,
right?
Could they have used it to track him, though? Did they have as much as a license plate number?
That's how they found the car.
That's how they found him?
And by the way, she was in the car.
I know.
It's like in a mall parking lot.
It gets to the bigger question at play here, which is using your power for good.
Sure.
And it is, I mean...
I have a GPS system in my car. I do.
You do?
Yes.
But for you?
For me, but if something happened to me, or if I careened off a cliff, I'm hoping somebody could find me.
Well, you just told me about it. I wouldn't have known to GPS your car.
Yeah, but Shannon would have.
Oh, okay. Do you track it with your phone?
You can if you'd like.
But the phone is also gone off the cliff.
She could possibly.
Okay, so make sure she gets those numbers.
Yeah.
But the thing about do it sooner rather than later. I've seen you drive.
Yeah.
The GPS in the automobiles is something that can be used for good, but I think people. We'd have to have a couple more incidents like this where GPS comes to the rescue that are going to make it for people to go in favor of it.
So there is a subplot here. I know about these GPS systems because I had a friend who owned these type of dealerships, right?
Right.
And so I'd known about the fact that they don't tell most people. It's like in the little fine print when you sell a car to somebody with bad credit. And this was it was kind of if you're local in the DC area, your job's your credit type of dealership in Phoenix, Arizona. So they don't really tell them, but it's in the fine print.
You need to sing it. It goes, your job's your credit at Eastern Motors.
Yeah.
Your job's your credit.
Anywhere in the country, they have these dealerships, and
they're usually red and yellow.
They're trying to prevent loss, right?
Of course.
So what he said they used to do is they used to put these, and they're like as big as a credit card, right? And they're connected to your car battery, and they put them in different places. That criminals would get so sophisticated when they bought these cars that they would end up putting their GPS system in other people's cars. They would take them out like early when people were using these, where they would put them in other people's cars. Like they would jump in their friend's car or borrow it for the weekend or their mom's car and really go out of the way to attach it to the car.
Wow.
So when they would go and repo the car, it was in a different neighborhood, a different car, and they would be following. At one point, he said that they followed a car right across the Mexican border to get it back. It was one of these Highline cars.
Sure.
And he said when they got there, it wasn't a Highline car, it was a minivan. So he goes, so they got more sophisticated where they started hiding these little GPS systems in engine blocks, right? Like within the engine blocks or in the lining of the car, like almost like if you're a drug dealer trying to hide drugs.
Do you remember the old ads for LoJack?
Yes.
When they would install LoJack, their big thing is you won't even know where it is because they would put it in any number of places to
but
add
criminals
security.
would start finding
They
it,
would
right?
start finding
and LoJack
it,
at that point was as big as a stereo amp. I think most guys that put a system in their car. That's how big it was at one point.
Like a Monopoly game.
They're getting as big as credit cards, right?
Okay.
So now, and I spoke to him yesterday when I saw the story. I said, hey, man, what are the odds those are the same systems that you guys used to use? And he goes, 100%. He goes, those are the cheapest ones they have.
Right.
They can get your GPS within a he said, less than a one block radius.
Sure, that's about right.
And they only cost $30 a month as far as the subscription to install. Why wouldn't anybody do that?
It makes sense. Everybody should do it. Yeah.
Everybody should do that. Now, if you have a teenage kid, I definitely would do that. And I never tell them. I don't know if that's invasion of privacy, but I would do that in a
you own the
heartbeat.
kid. You're allowed to do anything you want. Yeah,
I would throw that in their car. And then when they tell me they're at Susie's sleeping over, I'm saying, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I know where Susie lives. You're at the mall or you're at some dude's house.
I had a speed chip growing up.
Really?
Yeah, in my car, speed chip, because I got a couple speeding tickets. Parents weren't too happy about that. They're like, "You're gonna buy the speed chip and put it in your car, and we're gonna track your speed."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
He's traded the speed chip for tortilla chips.
Yeah.
But it's still, you can also. Do you know you can actually trade your speed? The speedometer on our Tahoe is just about gone. It works about 2 days and 9.
Okay.
Carrie found
That's safe.
Well, Carrie has found an
cheap.
app.
You cheap. Well, you're so cheap. Why wouldn't you pick the fix the speedometer?
It's Carrie's car. Let her fix it.
What?
There
is just the most important thing you look at every day when you get in the car?
No, when I get in the car, I look at my beautiful wife.
Does she just pace herself with other traffic?
Listen, would you listen?
Okay.
She's found an app that uses iPhone technology to run the speed of your car on your phone. Do you know we have paced it against other people and where you can see their speed?
Yes.
It's accurate. It's so crazy. So you actually, there's all that GPS stuff actually does work. It's
Wow.
nutty. It does work.
Don't you feel like a little low rent though when you get in the car?
Not
and then
my
you're like, Hold
car.
on a second. Let me fire up my speedometer app.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You know what? The speedometer in the Chrysler works great. Do you know why? Because Oscar, I take care of my things.
Oh my God!
You don't know how fast you're going when you get a call.
True enough. And while you're talking about the low jack stuff, I've got to tell this. When I used to work at Safeway in Richmond, I was in college. It was, to call it a sketchy neighborhood is an insult to sketchy neighborhoods. Our Safeway had all the medicine in a enclosed area of the store. It wasn't on an aisle. It was like boxed in, and you went through almost like a metal detector to get to it.
Okay.
Because all the medicine had little sticker sensors on it.
Yeah.
That if it wasn't deactivated, it would set off the sensor, right? Also in this area was the managers, like the elevated managers platform. We had one lady, and I don't remember her name, but she was built. Celebrity she most resembled is a fire plug.
Ooh.
She looked like a fire hydrant. She was little, and her face was always red because she was pissed at somebody, and she was horrible. So one day when she was in the break room, she took off her Safeway smock and went to go to the bathroom or whatever. We put one of the sensor stickers on the back of her name tag, and so every time she tried to go into the office, she set off the alarm. And for like weeks, she said, "I don't know what is the problem with it. I don't have anything in my pockets. I don't have any Excedrin. I don't have any Tylenol." And I think her name might have been Rose. Rose, we need 10s and 20s over here. So she'd come out of the office, beep, beep, beep. I don't understand what is the matter with it. So yeah, you see, technology is a great
It can be
thing.
your friend. You're right. It can't. There are two sides. I'm gonna get all these people writing me telling you that technology can be used for evil. I'll say, look, it's not about I'm not doing anything wrong. It's about peace of mind.
It is.
Right?
It is. And you know what it is? It is a compromise. But if you have a kid that's driving and you don't have a GPS in their car, you're stupid.
Yeah.
And remember, you don't have to fix your speedometer. $1.99
was a revelation.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Stick around. We'll come right back. You know what? I really want to talk about Shannon. While we're talking cars, want to get to the bottom of that. So don't go anywhere, folks. Back in a moment. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
We know Reno.
And we know that you're going to have the time of your life at CAT 2014.
Saturday, November 15th in the Mandalay Ballroom at Circus Circus in Reno.
It's an all-new Mike O'Mara Show live.
A live show, up close and personal.
Plus an exclusive after party for all the ticket holders.
Come on out and laugh at us and then hang with us.
And if you were wondering about a whore package upgrade,
this time everyone who buys a ticket is automatically eligible for backstage access.
10 lucky folks will win a pair of backstage passes for a pre-show drink with us.
Buy a ticket and you're eligible.
Everybody's a whore at CAT 2014.
Get your tickets by dialing 1-800-648-5010.
That's 1-800-648-5010.
The Mike O'Mara Show live.
Made possible by Encore Insurance Services.
We'll see you there. Mike O'Mara will be there.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike O'Mara is right here.
Hey, let me tell you something. What if I told you that you could have $35,000 in 72 hours? That's life-changing money. Just imagine what you could do with 35 grand. And with Prosper, it's never been easier. Prosper is the fastest-growing peer-to-peer lender. They connect people looking to borrow money with those who have money to invest. Now, there's no outrageous fees. There's no raising interest rates. You'll never set foot in a bank. Here's what I want you to do. And listen, this is how important this is to me. I'm telling you this from a hospital bed. Just go to prosper.com/TMOS to check your rate easily and instantly without affecting your credit score. For a limited time, Prosper is offering our listeners a $50 Visa prepaid gift card when you get a loan. Just go to prosper.com/TMOS. Up to $35,000 in just 3 days and a $50 gift card at prosper.com/TMOS. Here's the disclaimer. Other restrictions apply. See site for details. Gift card is issued by Center State Bank of Florida, pursuant to license from Visa USA Inc. All personal loans are made by WebBank, a Utah chartered industrial bank member, FDIC, equal housing lender. Let yourself prosper at prosper.com/TMOS.
Doing the spots from the hospital.
What a good man.
He's a pro.
What a good man. If only we could be pros and record them at a good level.
Well, next time for sure.
Pretty sad.
Are you sad?
Oh, no, I sit here as... Okay, pull back the curtain real quick.
Sure.
So Mike is a pro, so he does the spots. The man is in a hospital bed. What stops us from recording that at a good level? What stops? Somebody tell me, please, because I'm on this side of the console.
True enough.
No one's saying anything. Somebody speak.
Well, yeah,
outside of me.
I mean, we did the best we could with what we're working with here. I mean, dealing with a phone line.
Did you hear the spots while he was on the line waiting for us?
Yes, I did.
Why did you not say, look, we got to do a second take. Let's just take care of this.
Because that is the only way that line is going to sound. We can't make it sound any different.
That's a blatant lie. Yes, you can. We recorded at a lower level, and he won't peak at the levels he was peaking.
He wasn't peaking over here either. I think he was peaking on his phone's microphone, and that's the little clipping that you pick up.
Oh, man. So we couldn't go back and say, hey, modulate your voice?
Well, I believe he was trying to do that. I mean, he's a professional after all, and he does what he can.
I can't wait till he hears this. He's going to be so fired up.
Well,
diverticulitis right back.
Luckily, Mike doesn't listen to the show. So we've got that.
Oh, my God. Doesn't that drive you up, though? Why don't you care as much as I care, Rob?
I do, Oscar.
You think I don't care? I mean, I spent 20 minutes just trying to clean it.
I think that you were scared to tell Mike that he had to do another take, and that didn't happen. That's what I think happened. And I'm not mad at you. I'm just frustrated. Now,
I'm
Rob,
frustrated
tell me
too.
how much you care.
I care enough that I want to move forward and give the folks... I understand that sometimes it alleviates inner pressure to pull the curtain back and let them know what's going on.
Yes.
But there's also a value in pushing forward and giving them a show.
He's going to have to cut those spots again.
That's right.
Yes. So I can't wait until someone calls him. It won't be me.
Oh, hey, it's a game of not it. I'm that guy that is not it. Now, Shannon, who is your girlfriend.
Super sweet.
Maybe someday your fiance.
I don't think that's going to
Maybe
happen anytime
someday.
soon.
I've never said it was.
I
said
have time.
Someday. You have nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
Who's going to be the one that calls Shannon and says the wedding isn't going to happen?
No. We don't talk about it now, which is great.
It never comes up?
Well, to be fair to me, she's 27. She's got enough on her plate, and I am in no rush to get married.
Okay, good.
That's it. So,
all right, good enough.
So when she talks about it, I said, yeah, it sounds like a good idea, and I quickly changed the subject.
So it does occasionally come up.
Well, she says, you know what she did? And this is really sad, but she said, I was trying to figure out how I could get you. It's because I was in a place, and I guess she was just having a bad day. Because all her friends are getting engaged now.
Sure.
And she said she Googled, how do you get your boyfriend to propose to you?
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I said, look, you probably don't have to do that. It happens naturally, right?
Sure.
I said, what did Google say? And she said, Google said to leave, and then they'll realize what they've lost, and they'll either step up to the plate or they won't. And I said, you should try that and see what happens. Because that's probably not the way it's going to go.
No. You would enjoy the extra space in the
Well,
apartment.
I was like, remember, I love being alone.
Right.
So I said, I think you got a good setup here. You're maintaining your scholarship. I think it's a win for everybody.
She doesn't have to ask Google. She could also ask Echo. She get herself the Amazon Echo and set it up.
$99. That thing creeps me out. I don't want a microphone in my house. There's there are cameras everywhere.
And I don't like the fact that you have to pick your own word that makes. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I think they rolled it out yesterday, didn't they?
Yesterday, I saw it come up on my Amazon page. I was doing some holiday shopping, and
did you watch the video?
I did watch the video.
I made about 2.5 minutes in before I wanted to kill everyone in that family.
It's basically
great sponsor though.
It's Siri built into a standalone speaker.
But it's Amazon Siri.
It's Amazon Siri.
Right.
And you can ask it questions. I think I think people, they don't mind the certain smart technology on their phones. I think the logic behind a phone having a two-way microphone that clearly the NSA can use at any time.
Yes.
It's a little bit above, your average Joe's.
I like the fact that he's saying a phone with a two-way microphone. Like, that hasn't existed since Alexander Graham Bell.
but
the two-way microphone is kind of what defines it as a telephone.
Yeah, that somebody could hack into and listen to your conversation.
Sure.
The NSA does that all the time. We found out from Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
But the fact that you would go out of your way to get a speaker, which I'm sure someone will get for Christmas this year because it's just an easy gift.
It looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like a sharper image air deodorizer or deionizer. It's like a little cone, like maybe the shape of a box of Quaker Oats, that's in space-age black.
Yes.
That you plug into your wall and you tell it to make shopping lists.
Yeah.
Right.
So you basically talk to it, and it seems cool. If I was an Amazon investor, I'd sit there and said, hey, how about enough of these hardware products? Like, we went with the phone.
Yeah, what happened to that, by the way?
Amazon Fire plug-in TV thing. I'm not going to buy this because I just don't want, like I said, I don't want something else to talk to in my home.
You're a tech guy. What happened to the Amazon phone? It was supposed to be a big deal.
Oh, they had to write it down. By write it down, it's a loss for them.
Wow.
They have multiple units. Like, you can still buy it, but they have multiple units that have not been sold.
Wow.
Like multiple hundreds of thousands of units.
And it was supposed to be a super duper thing.
Yeah, but it's like they're trying to get into the space, and it's tough. It's owned by it's owned by Apple, and it's owned by Samsung.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And there's a third party coming in from China that's owning it, and I don't blame them. Clearly, you want to do that, but that's a lot of money to invest.
I'd like to go to that Chinese party. I bet the food would be great.
So, outside of the proposal not happening anytime soon,
right?
What Shannon loves to do is tell me things that happen to her car and for me to check them out. And I was like, all right, I'm fairly handy. I worked on changing the brakes that one.
That's right.
So I like to fix things. So like I'm a car guy.
You've done battery issues
Batteries,
too.
no problem. And she's got an older Avalon, and so it's nothing fancy. So I get home from work, and she gets in, and she said, do you mind going? I said, so I go down there with my iPhone flashlight, and I'm like, all right, I'll check out. She goes, something's going on with my tires.
And by the way, if you want to see an older Avalon, check out the movie Back to the Beach. That has Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon, but an older Avalon.
Yeah. It's got over 140,000 miles on it, but it's
hard miles.
It's been Bristol because my mom drove it beforehand.
How did your mom put 140,000 miles on? All she does is hang
she would
around
go
the
to
house.
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Pittsburgh, back
okay.
and forth, a bunch of highway miles.
Pick
right?
up the printers.
So, all the printers.
Great trunk space.
I go out. Oh, phenomenal. Put at least 2 bodies in there. We're driving. We're driving around, and I said, I haven't, because when I walked out, she said, well, let's go to the Safeway. So we go to the social Safeway, come back. I said, let me look at the car. I look at the car, and the side that I'm looking at is the driver's side.
Right.
And it looks like Freddy Krueger had come out and completely destroyed her rims. Like scratches everywhere, dents, dings, things that I think I might have to be replaced. And these aren't like high-end 19, 21-inch rims. They are your stock grandmother rims that come off the lot.
Yeah, Toyota rims.
So they're meant to be beat up.
Sure.
Are they wheel covers or actual rims?
They're actual rims, right?
Okay.
Spinners?
No spinners, no spinners.
And is the neon still work under the car?
No. But they're just alloy wheels, right?
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, is there a chance my mom did all this damage? No, there probably isn't, because I remember when I got the car, there was no damage. Because I like looking at things like that,
of
details,
course, yeah.
right? And I'm like, I see the way you've been parking has basically been using the curve as a guide and curb as a guide, and this is your problem. This is probably one of these rims are bent, probably. And she's like, that's not the side I want you to look at.
Oh no.
Oh. So in her book, that side's okay.
It's normal. That's just the way that usually looks. So I walk around to the passenger side of the car, and I see the same type of damage but worse. And I said, look, I know that you're not into cars, and I know that you just want like an A to B automobile.
Right.
And this isn't a stereotype against women or anything like that. Like, this isn't me being like a machista or anything like that.
Machismo.
I said, do you I gave her the Rob Ford. I said, do you not care about this car, or is it that you're too lazy to deal with the mirrors and the parallel parking?
Right.
And she said, she goes, I think I don't care about the car. And I said,
wow.
Why don't you care about this car? I was like, you basically bought this car. It was a family, right? But it's a nice car. And she says, I don't know. She goes, we're in the city. I felt like, she goes, parallel parking is so terrible. You got to mess with the mirror. She's like going through this like step by step. I said, that's what you do when you park.
That's the
I was
deal.
like, even if you don't hit the rims, you're scraping your tires. And in the long run, if you get some dents or dings or bubbles on the wheel wall, you got to get a new tire.
Exactly.
That's going to cost you money.
And you're looking usually a pair of tires.
So my question to you is this: she's got to get these fixed, right? Is it worth even having another conversation with her about this? Because I think that's just the way this is just the way she rolls,
so to speak.
This is just the way she rolls. And once in a while, I'll make a flip comment when I see women parking in the city where they just curb it. That's all they do. They just roll up on it and then shh.
Yeah, you get.
We're parked. We're in.
See
Time to get out of the car.
Right-angled dent into the tire.
Do you care about things like that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. I don't have my car.
I thought I was just being anal.
My car is no thing of beauty. It's not winning any ribbons, but I do take care of it.
Yeah.
It's clean on the inside. It's clean on the outside. I maintain it, and you got to, because you know what it is. It's something that you're going to have to rely on. Always. And these are little things, these dings and dents, but they can lead to bigger problems.
And like on my end, and again, I don't expect her to be as anal as I am, but on my hand, maybe 4 times in the last 5 years, I've curbed a rim.
Right.
And a piece of me dies every time that happens,
sure.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I sit there and I'm like, okay, you don't care about the car. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're as frustrated as I am, I guess the best thing to do is just accept it and realize that they just can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
No speedometers, no nice wheels.
No.
They just can't have nice things.
You know what she is? She's on academic probation. We got to the bottom of that. All right.
Jesus.
Stick around, folks. We're back after this. And now another meeting with Johnny Fidelity.
Here we go.
The holidays are right around the corner, people. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the most hectic. So this year, why not give yourself the greatest gift of all, the Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology. It's so simple. There's nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. You just sleep. They use sensors along with the dual air technology inside the bed to optimize your sleep. It's the smartest bed in the world. The Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology. My Sleep Number is an 80, Carla's is an 85, and right now during their Veterans Day sale, you can save $600 on the top-rated Sleep Number i8 bed. It's the lowest price ever. See why Sleep Number was named Best of 2014 by a leading consumer magazine. Find your Sleep Number setting today only at one of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That's 800-511-0061. And don't forget to tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you.
Hey, Mike, does that hospital have Sleep Number beds?
No, and I want it back badly, please.
He was fussy. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Time for a quick break here. I want to give you guys an update. Julia is holding 4th place, very strong.
Oh, I didn't know you could see the power rankings.
Yeah, you can go in there and for her to be the ultimate Fallout Boy fan.
Yes.
And judging what she's up against, you know what she's up against? People with lousy videos, but have a great command of how to troll Twitter and stuff like that.
What's the count? Because last I saw, she had a little over 1,000.
She is, I think, now over 1,500 votes.
Okay, who's at the top of the heap?
Somewhere around 4,000.
Oh, wow.
But we figured a few things out, folks. If you really want to help her win, you can vote multiple times from multiple devices every day.
You prize pigs.
This is what Carrie is doing, and there are detailed instructions on my Facebook page.
Oh, my God.
You know why, though?
You have no shame. You're teaching your daughter how to cheat.
Teaching her how to win. What have you always told me, Oscar?
This is going to come back and haunt you.
It's American Idol rules.
It is American Idol rules. As many times as you want. And every call is free. And even if you want to play by the rules, you can vote once a day. So please do that.
Once a day?
Yeah. They reset it every day.
She's got my one vote.
Oh, I think you should vote again.
No.
Why not?
Do I think I have time to continue logging in and they ask for my email?
Is there really amount of time you can assign to making a little girl happy?
I think we do enough for her. Here.
Yes.
Yes, because that all trickles down.
I'm sure
to
you
the little
do.
Speewax.
The little Speewax.
Yes.
The littlest Speewax.
Yeah.
All right. We've actually talked a little technology today. I have to ask you about this Tinder that you're were trying desperately to get Carla's mom. In
Swipe left,
in a
swipe
relationship.
right.
In a relationship, I'll say.
Yes.
And this comes from the New York Times, which means to me this is a slow news day.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, women on Tinder reject 3 times more profiles than men. Now, this to me, this smells like something that would be on, not the New York Times.
Yes.
This is like a TMZ styled article. If you like someone's photo on Tinder, you swipe right. And if you're a guy, apparently you swipe right, even if you like what you see just a tiny bit. Explain for the rube. You know what you are? You're a rube. Explain to me how Tinder works.
Okay, so it's an app that basically you would, if you want to be on there, you would upload your profile.
Right.
And once it's uploaded, you get a series of possible matches that Tinder says, okay, you're in the age demographic.
So you have to enter your information.
You enter your stats, right? And then you get
so
fed.
if I were to go in, I would say, my name is Rob.
Yes.
I'm in this area. I'm 43 years old. And I'd put in a picture of myself from 2 years ago.
Probably.
Exactly. Okay.
You can actually enter multiple pictures. And what is kind of a fail safe is that you can log in and verify through your Facebook page. It'll take your Facebook picture.
Okay.
And you can add multiple pictures. So this past weekend when we were in Florida, Linda was just talking about dating. I said,
This is Carla's mom. Yeah.
You should be on Tinder. And she said, well, what's that? And she's got an iPhone. I said, well, we could set you up right now. I'm not on Tinder, but I'd like to figure out how this actually works, and this might work for her, right?
Okay, now this is, we talked about at the baptism, the after party. There was several Google circles going on, and this is when Oscar had apple martinis and was out on the lanai with all the women folk.
Yeah,
and he's conducting.
And what do I like to do? I like to work and help. Right?
Yeah, he likes to use technology.
I said, let's set this up
and find love.
We set her up on her Tinder account, and she still doesn't understand that you swipe right or swipe left. You swipe left when you don't like the picture or the profile that's been put up in front of you. You can actually put a picture and some quick one-liner about what you do and what you're about, little paragraph. Some people just put pictures. Some people will write something about them, right?
Yeah.
So you swipe right if you think it's a match, and then after you match, if the other person saw your profile picture and they swipe right, then you get a match and you get a notification, and that's when you can start chatting, right?
Right.
That's a next level. Like you've already gotten your first down and you're in the red zone. You're going for a touchdown now.
Well, if you're in the red zone, you shouldn't be on Tinder for those few days.
Well, more swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
Well, no.
To
At
get
that
the metaphor
point,
right.
At that point, you're not swinging for the fences. You're in the red zone, which means you're 20 yards out from the end zone. You got to get the right play to get to the end zone.
Yeah.
At
Fair?
what point?
Yeah.
At what point? I'm not going to sit here and let you argue sports metaphors. At what point did
that makes sense?
At what
Why
point
would you
did-
be swinging for the fences?
Well, I mean, the way the metaphor usually goes, it's baseball. You know, first base, second base, third base.
Oh, maybe in your world.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
his
I
1970 world?
Please.
Yeah.
Continue.
Did his Mac impression? Show killer.
Show killer.
Show killer. Show killer.
Show-
So, how long into this process was Linda absolutely horrified?
She wasn't.
Really?
Yes, she had been drinking enough to realize that when she did get a match, she came in to the living room. She said, I got a match. What does that mean? And I said, well, now it gets interesting. Because this is when you actually start writing or chatting with the individual.
Sure.
So I said, what do you want to write? She goes, well, what's a good opening line? I said, well, you're the girl, so this is going to be easy. So just write hi and see. So she got, because she's an attractive woman, 6 matches within an hour. There are people listening right now that are on Tinder
Looking for her?
that haven't had 6 matches within a month.
Wow.
So, but she's a very attractive woman, and guys are horned up.
And
so
also, I think
why not match her?
it's probably an advantage to be a woman on Tinder
Yes.
because they're going to be going after you.
She had a lot of no's, though,
Yeah. Okay.
as we were swiping through.
A new study found that men swipe right on Tinder 3 times as much as women. And also, the study also found that people who use Tinder use the app how many times a day, would you guess?
Oh, my God. Wow.
This is crazy.
That is a great question. People, women and men?
Yes, overall.
If you're a single, at least 10.
11 times a day.
Nice.
The average Tinder
Solid
user
math.
uses the app 11 times a day, and they spend between 7 and 8 minutes during each session, meaning they spend 90 minutes a day total using Tinder.
Yeah, well, it's a numbers game for guys. I think that because we're less picky,
Yeah.
I would say that you swipe right on as many as you can and see what
Absolutely.
happens.
See what
right?
happens.
Are you on Tinder?
No,
Ford?
no, not on Tinder.
No. Have you ever been?
No, I actually haven't. I'll have to check it out now.
You know what? You have.
What are you doing? You're 23.
You're not attached right now, right?
I'm not. I'm actually on the OkCupid.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not 50.
I gotta find your profile.
What you need to do, your homework this weekend, Rob
Okay,
Ford.
yes.
Get on Tinder and get yourself laid.
Done and done.
But if you can get on, though,
Yeah.
you know what we should do? We should have him do all the prereqs here on the show, and
Set it up.
then write his profile for him.
Oh, I'm good at that.
On the program.
I wrote your profile
You
on a
did.
website
You did.
once. Yeah.
I got no hits.
Yeah. You insisted on using a picture of you holding a dog.
What I'll do, though, is we could work together
Right.
to craft something for his generation, just like we do on Yik Yak.
Yeah, let's skew younger.
Yes.
If such a thing is possible.
It's a lot of fun.
All right, yeah. All right, yeah. We were going to give this assignment to Mac, but we thought the get laid part. That's more of a Rofo challenge. Stick around. Come on. You got Oscar Razzi?
I do.
We'll do it when we return. It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Every Monday, listen to the gut-wrenching, tongue-twisting action on Americast. Get heart-pounding clips from the Mike O'Mara Show. Tick 411, Rob and Joe Show, and Cake and Cookies, the Rob and Katie Show. Hear fans of More Broadcasting say tear apart through More Broadcasting on iTunes, Stitcher, and of course, MikeO'MaraShow.com. Catch the action. Americast, part of the More Broadcasting Network.
Not in a race car, in a hospital bed, it's Mike O'Mara.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Okay, even though I'm not in the studio or in my studio today, I need to find out about our fantasy football team. Rofo,
Yes.
give me the prospects. What are we going to be doing today?
Well, starting quarterback, we have Ben Roethlisberger coming off of 2 weeks of 6 touchdown games, so hopefully he can keep that trend going. It's looking pretty good.
All right,
Running back,
let me just, as my general manager, let me just tell you this, okay?
All right.
I'm glad that you're starting him now that he's coming off 2 weeks of record-setting performances. But, you know, one of these days, I want to catch the guy before he has the record-setting game. That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I want to do. Do you think we can pull that off? Can that happen sometime this year, Rofo?
well, Mike, they say the third time is the charm, and this would be the third game, so I'm hoping for the charm.
Okay.
The charm.
Well, we're talking about FanDuel.com, and it's immediate cash payouts. It's a different lineup every single week. You don't have to be locked in to one particular team all season long. And we always talk about Chris Prince because he pocketed $656,000 at FanDuel. Not too late to get in on more than $10 million that FanDuel pays out every single week. Remember, FanDuel.com has no season-long commitment, no upfront fees. Entry fees start at just $1. The money is real, and you get to start a new lineup each week. Just click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use the code TMOS, and the first 50 to use the TMOS code. Get their deposits matched up to $200. That's up to $200 free dollars. This offer ends soon. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today.
Thank you, Mike O'Mara. Rest well and feel better. Remember, they're sending it home in a soapbox derby racer. Oscar Razzi, Oscar.
Fellas.
Hello.
Jerry Seinfeld suspects he's on the autism spectrum. Did
What?
you see this?
No.
Yeah, he was on the nightly news yesterday with Brian Williams, and he talks about the fact that he thinks he's on the autism spectrum because he has a lot of the traits that people with autism do.
Now, this is not expected, but also to me not surprising. The way he sees the world is not the way most people see the world.
Yeah.
And that might be indicative of these traits. I don't know. I'm speaking blindly because I don't know what the traits are.
I don't know enough as well, but within the interview, he was basically alluding to the way he acts in social interactions.
Wow.
Where, and it says, I quote here, basic social engagement is really a struggle. I'm very literal. When people talk to me, they use expressions. Sometimes I don't know what they're saying.
Wow.
And if that's also the case, you know, some of the greatest in their fields have this type of level where it's just they're so the blinders are on for one reason or another for their craft.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
I've always felt that when you are tremendously smart or gifted, that has to come from somewhere else.
Yes.
And not to paint a bad picture of him, but your good friend Todd Moore is brilliant.
Brilliant.
But he is not the most socially at ease person I've ever met.
Yes.
And I think
while
that,
he's coding while he's talking to you.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, if you're really, really smart, the social skills sort of fall to the side.
And he's like super charismatic and dynamic.
Easy, Tiger.
No, I'm just. but there is a level. He'll tell you there's like no filter. We always joke about it.
Yeah, it's
there's
true, though.
no filter, and that's what Jerry's alluding to here. I thought that was interesting. I also like if you haven't comedians in cars getting coffee. If you haven't seen this new season, it's phenomenal.
It's such a great show.
And there are a lot of people out there that said, "All right, you succeeded on network television. Now you're destroying on the internet. Like, how much is enough?"
Right.
I say give us as much content as you want.
And you know what? I think
he's 60, for God's sake.
God, he's still young. He's probably the guy, he can't turn it off. He can't not do it. He wants to get on there and be funny and show off his cars.
You're Jerry Seinfeld. You've got $1 zillion.
Right.
You've got that Seinfeld money coming in. You live in the Hamptons. You live in the city. You've got a warehouse full of Porsches that maybe you drive here and there, right?
Uh-huh.
He still goes to comedy clubs on Wednesday, Tuesday nights and does sets.
He loves it.
Right?
He loves it. You know what? I mean,
just walks in.
There is no need for me to sit down at a microphone and talk up records. And God knows Steve Bridges doesn't pay me to do it, but I still do it. If it's something you love doing, you're going to do it the rest of your life.
Did you hear that, Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
That was sort of that was a fist in a velvet glove.
He said it's okay. It's not okay.
But if it's something you're passionate about, you're not doing Tech 411 for the money.
No,
obviously.
I'm passionate about it.
But you're passionate about it.
But I didn't ask somebody for some money just now. That was really awkward. AC/DC drummer.
Hey, I've been asking for it for 5 years. I imagine a big bag will be coming soon.
You saw this. Murder for hire. That charge has been dropped.
What?
You didn't see this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Breaking news whenever it feels like breaking. Apparently, that murder for hire situation with, how old was he?
60, I think?
60, right? Everybody's 60 doing big things.
Yeah.
So, apparently there's not enough evidence to charge him.
Well, then the whole thing is, that's stupid. You can't.
Right? Phil Rudd.
You can't take over the entire news world yesterday with the fact that this man is so glamorous. I'm hiring assassins. Oh, yeah, but not really.
He still faces drug possession charges.
Well,
for
of course. He's a rock and roll guy. Look at his teeth.
And a threatening to kill charge. But as far as hiring a hitman, no go. It's a no-go.
Wow. I heard he hired the people from Iron Maiden to do it.
Yeah, but he's going on tour. He's going to be okay.
God.
Right?
That is such a Trump. And you know what? This can't be publicity gone wrong, can it? Please don't tell me this wasn't an effort to get him in the news.
Well, how many dirt cheap jokes were out there?
Pretty easy to write, yeah.
And I'd love to see if there's a correlation between this news and the albums that were sold on iTunes.
Pretty big, I bet.
Right?
I bet. But you know what? I don't think AC/DC is on iTunes.
Really?
I think they're one of the holdouts.
Oh, well, I mean, they've missed the boat then. I don't know what they're doing.
Well,
once the Beatles came on board,
Exactly.
you're like, you know what?
Well, you know what? If you're out there smoking meth and killing people, you've missed the boat on a couple things.
We're not going to be on iTunes. We'll show everybody.
It's
not like Spotify, for God's sakes.
They were at one point a holdout. I don't know if they're still holding out, but yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Rofo. Don't check it for us as we continue working here.
Can I get you a tea?
He's just sitting there,
having a
staring
great
at me
time
like a serial killer.
You know, Oscar, it's a great show.
There's not enough evidence for that.
Okay. Amanda Bynes.
Again?
We talked about it briefly. I think Mike had the story yesterday where her parents are moving to Texas.
Giving up.
Gave her the heave-ho, going to try to get a professional to take care of her money. This is what's strange, and I got to find out what's going on. She apparently has $5.7 million in her fortune. I thought it had dwindled down to like 1 point something, which is still a lot of money.
It is, but still.
Yeah, right? So she's got 5.7. Her daily allowance for her conservatorship only gives her $50 to $100 a day. Now she's come out and said she wants a normal life, and she's planning on becoming a bartender. Now, if you've got a substance abuse problem, isn't the bar the wrong place to be?
Or the right place to be, depending on how much you will get as a problem.
You walk in, and this happens in Hollywood all the time, especially with a lot of reality stars.
Yeah.
I remember when we lived in Scottsdale, there was all these real-worlders that lived in Scottsdale, and there were bartenders and servers, right?
Sure.
And people would tip them, and
because
tourists would come in and be like,
they're
oh,
kind of
wow,
famous.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
Urkel. What's his real name again?
Steve.
Jaleel White.
Jaleel White.
Steve,
I think he lives in
Steve
Scottsdale
Urkel
still.
yeah, that was
I'd walk into a bar and Jaleel White would be sitting there at the bar just hanging out.
You know what?
I would say I saw him at least 6 times.
If he owned a bar, I know the perfect name for it. Big glasses.
No, but again, he wasn't bartending. I think he was just living a better life in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
And as I would walk in, I remember people would kind of freak out, but after a while you get used to it.
Sure.
But would Amanda Bynes get the type of tips that she would need to live a life? Because if she doesn't have access for her money.
Yeah, I don't know that if I went into a bar, I would recognize Amanda Bynes.
Well, not these
It would have to be word of mouth.
Yes.
You have to go and say, this is Amanda Bynes' bar.
Poor Amanda Bynes. She looks like she ate Amanda Bynes when she's all that.
No.
Yeah.
She was all that. Now she's all this.
And more.
All right, one more before we get out of here.
Please.
Interstellar hits theaters today. I'm gonna check it out this weekend, but I gotta see it in IMAX. And IMAX would take you up in the city to $19, right?
Oof.
That's tough. But this movie was shot on 70 millimeter film.
Okay, I'm with you.
If that's look, I don't know enough about film to address it, but I know that if it's shot to be shown on IMAX, you have to pony up. I just read an article in the Washington Post that says it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Those dollars are well worth it. There's an aspect ratio change that happens because some of the frames are smaller.
Right.
But the majority of the film is shot on that level. So pony up if you're going with your wife, your kids, whoever you're going with alone, as I will be.
Right.
You're gonna want to pony up.
Is it going to be in 3D?
I don't think it's in 3D.
I love a 3D movie.
I could
Gonna
be
go
wrong.
see Annabelle in 3D.
But it talks about the IMAX experience, and again, you should definitely check it out.
Cool, and we'll get a review on Monday then.
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
Thank
Did you get an
you.
answer?
AC/DC, as of November of 2012, they're on iTunes, but they were a long holdout, so you were right there.
All right.
Yes.
That's why I had
Just
to
2 years later.
bootleg all those recordings.
That's Oscar. Razzi.
Very, very good, Oscar.
Thank you.
Back in a second with the final audio vault of the week, so stick around.
The world of technology can be a scary place, especially if you're elderly. That's why we're lucky that More Broadcasting has a show like Tech 411.
Good morning.
Oh, Kathleen Turner. Speaking of elderly, great to see you. I was just spreading the word about Tech 411.
Good.
Your hosts with the most, Todd Moore.
What a heartbreaker.
Well, yeah, I guess he's a fine-looking man. Todd Moore and Oscar Santana.
He can be difficult.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Let's let that one go.
But anyway, they'll bring you the latest news in technology, like the newest smartphone apps.
That's not interesting to me.
Sorry. All the newest gadgets, like the iPhone 6.
And the idiots put money in that.
And review the products and services you need to know about.
I would definitely slit my throat.
Miss Turner, give it a chance. They'll make it simple enough even for you to understand.
Yeah, right.
It hits the web sometime in the middle of the week, and you can subscribe through iTunes or add the RSS feed to your favorite podcast player at tech411.com or on the Tech 411 app.
I know I would.
It's Tech 411 with Todd Moore and Oscar Santana, and it's only from Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment. Now, was that so bad?
It's lovely. Lovely work.
Thank you. Now, get the heck out of here so we can get back to the show.
You son of a...
And shut the door before Larry gets in. Oh, no.
I miss putting my finger in a hole and making that sweeping circular motion. Brump, brump.
Larry, gross.
I love our listeners.
So great. That's Mike Pollock who did that for you.
Thank you, Mike.
And now Oscar with a few words about the devilishly handsome Todd Moore.
Yes, if you haven't downloaded it, please do it now. Whether you have an iPhone or an Android device or a tablet, it's there. It's Springer. All right, the game Springer. Yes, it's a small tap for man, one giant spring forward for mankind. From your friends at Tmos and the Tmos headquarters, you can download it today. You wonder what's Springer? I played it yesterday for an hour. Zoolander has got the high score with 100,000 plus points.
What a jerk!
I got it to 50,000 and 50,623, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm addicted. It's a lot of fun. It's absolutely free. You can find it on the App Store or Google Play Store. It's Springer from TM Soft. You cannot go wrong. What I'd like to see is this, and this is a little selfish, but if you're on, because I've got an iPhone here, but if you've got an iPhone, thank you, appreciate it. It's an older one. It's a 5S.
You know what you can do? You can download music on it from AC/DC.
Thank you. If you're on Game Center, friend me, Oscar Santana, so we can play against each other on Springer.
Yeah.
So more importantly, when you download it, give it a nice 5-star review. That's 5 stars for Springer on either store, whether you're on the Google Play Store or the iTunes App Store. Do it today. 5 stars. Write something nice about the game and tell your friends. And you can share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. He's not just a good friend. He's a great supporter of the show.
Good guy.
Again, Springer from TM Soft. Download it today.
Very cool. Thank you, Oscar. Now let's open up the audio vault for Friday. Is it already the 7th?
The 7th, man.
November. 1 week from today, we'll be on a plane.
We'll be actually at this point. I'll be arriving in Reno.
That's right.
Isn't that wild?
That is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And saying, what the hell are we going to do?
No, you'll be happy to know that I
kidding.
packed a bunch of equipment yesterday.
Awesome.
That was stored at the Mangrate headquarters.
Yes.
And it's Rofo came by as well. We've got the banners. We've got the big stand for the professional pictures.
Cool.
All that is coming with us.
Oh, we can't wait to see all you guys out there. But now let's focus on the audio vault. Coming up, I think next week, an album that people have been waiting for a long time. I ordered it months ago. It's called The Art of McCartney. It is an all-star tribute to the music of Paul McCartney. The first single is by Billy Joel. He does 2 songs on the album. He does Live and Let Die and really screams it, but also puts a lot of effort into this one. I think this is going to be the first single, Maybe I'm Amazed.
Baby, I'm amazed at the way you pulled me out of time. You hung me on a line. Baby, I'm amazed at the way I really need you.
There's a video for it on the YouTube, and it's fun to watch him sing it. You can see he's really giving it his all.
Cool.
Giving it his all, and that album drops next week, and you'll be hearing every song from it on this show. So don't go anywhere. Oscar, when your worlds collide, is it a great feeling?
No, it's horrible.
When they make the first porn movie using a drone, have you seen
saw
it?
This.
It's
I
pretty
saw this.
thrilling.
I was at first enamored with the still shots and just the beautiful panorama, and then when I saw the people having sex in the distance,
right?
That for the most part, what I could tell weren't attractive.
No, that woman had sort of an expansive panorama herself.
Yes.
But anyway, Conan O'Brien had this to say.
I can't believe this. The first porn movie filmed by a drone has been released. A porn movie that was filmed by a drone. That really happened. Yeah, it's been released. Yeah. The film is expected to be a big surprise to the people who star in it.
Kind of had that feeling when you saw it, but they might not know. Are you familiar with country singer Casey Musgraves?
Oh, she is gorgeous.
Smoking hot,
I follow
right?
her on Twitter like a creep.
That is really creepy.
And I'm not even into her music.
Yeah.
I couldn't even name a song.
She doesn't even play volleyball. This is a fascinating story. I still think there is a country music award show every other week on CBS, but apparently the CMAs that happened this week is the big one, the granddaddy. She had a wardrobe malfunction before she performed with Loretta Lynn.
Well, let me look that up.
And I think you're going to enjoy this story, Oscar. This is Casey Musgraves.
You got to sing with Loretta Lynn tonight? That had to be exciting.
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you what that meant to me. I'm such a huge fan of her. And you know what? It was crazy. My panties fell off right before. Literally, I'm not even kidding. They were the stick-on kind. I don't know if you know anything about that, but they fell off. They were dangling. I had to rip them off. My whole band saw me, and I had to throw them to the side. And then out she comes, and I don't even know. I'm here now.
Oh, they didn't hit anyone, did they?
I don't know where they are.
I know where they are. Steven Tyler has them.
Oh, God.
The stick-on
I guarantee
kind.
you Steven Tyler has your stick-on panties right now.
This is not something I want to be reality.
I don't know what stick-on panties are.
I don't, but I'm sure going to find out.
Although she tells a few more stories like that, we might all be wearing
Can
them.
I show you a picture of her real quick?
Please.
I think you'll appreciate this.
Yes, let's see.
If you're at home or at work.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a gander.
Yeah, we can.
Beautiful, right?
Apply
Absolutely
apply some stick-on stuff to that. South Park did something great last night. They actually did a fake commercial for alcohol that was not animated. It was real images of people, but the copy is extraordinarily funny. This is every commercial for drinking that's on TV right now.
You, friends, fun, drink, hot girls, you're hot, drink more, expensive cars, drink, money, you in a tuxedo, threesome, vodka, drink, 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 in a tuxedo, this girl, vodka, drink, 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 drink it all, you see, more tuxedos, more cars, more vodka, drink, drink,
That's
drink.
brilliant.
Please drink responsibly.
That's our message for you this weekend.
Brilliant.
Please drink responsibly. That is your Magic Audio Vault.
Rob, great
Have
work.
a great Friday, everybody. Mike, feel better. We want you back on Monday.
Vaya con Dios.
I'm glad that you're taking care of yourself. This concludes our broadcast today, but dry your eyes. It's not goodbye just so long. You can always write us a letter. Send it to TMOS, P.O. Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. Email all technical queries to ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. And if you'd like to be a part of the legendary popular Thursday mailbag segment, which is now on a Wednesday, update the copy. Drop a line to the guy that did not update the copy, Rob at MikeO'MaraShow.com. For Oscar Santana, Rob Ford, Matt Bloom, and the absent Mike O'Mara, this is Rob Spiewak saying, see you next time, everybody.
Have a great weekend. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
This episode of TMOS was brought to you by Prosper. Prosper is a peer-to-peer lending marketplace which connects people who are looking to borrow money with those who have money to lend. Visit prosper.com/TMOS and receive a $50 Visa prepaid card when you get a loan. That's prosper.com/TMOS.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.